tulikuwa namwita Shinde kitambo, and I don't know how the name came about, but we're not going to get into the details of that. Let's talk a little bit about what it means to be a national coordinator for a farm or for a group or for an organization, because that also requires a lot of legacy in it. Being a national coordinator means uko na contacts.
Right key, the recording industry of Kenya.
Sure. Okay, so recording industry of Kenya is, in a nutshell, a lobby group for record producers, and more importantly, those who own their sound recordings. There are some people who own their sound recordings, like after they finish recording, they buy the music and they own it. And then there's some who are like, your Sony and your Warners and your Soul Generation, who actually produce the music and therefore own the content. So for us, we've set up the Recording Industry of Kenya, or RIKI, to the of those who invest in making music. Just because our country is quite young in comparison to, your UK and your US, it is necessary for us to have a lobby group, because sometimes, currently, the laws that we have don't really support the copyright or the intellectual property of those who own the music. So we're looking at things like hoping into strengthening the laws that we have, so that things like piracy are not so prevalent in the country. And we're looking to hopefully set up an award ceremony for those who own their music. And the award ceremony will be based on statistics. So we can say, let's say Brian Aseli Records has gone platinum because they have 20,000 downloads or 300,000 streams and what have you. So we're looking to collate all the data from a numbers perspective, and at the end of it all have an award ceremony. And there are many other things, just providing opportunities for record labels to interact with those who are in government and say what it is that they would like rectified within our country, so that we can, in fact, have a legacy, not only for myself, but everyone who is involved in the music industry.
I feel like that's a beautiful, it has an edge to it, meaning that more young people will have a knowledge of how they can protect their intellectual property.
Correct.
And not only that, also awarding and rewarding. You know how beautiful it is when it's like you're being awarded by hosts and they're saying you're the best host.
Right.
That feels really amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a validation of your work at a different level.
Absolutely, right? Absolutely. There's nothing like motivation, and also building your clout, because it gives you motivation to keep producing music. And that's what we want, for people to be encouraged.
We're getting into now, when you're not coordinating, like you said, it could be a 9 to 5 you're with RIKI, 5 to 8 you're on the stage. Tell me about the theater scene for you, as someone who's been in it for a minute and has seen it grow. What perhaps is your biggest win as far as theater is concerned, like for the entire country, the biggest thing that has changed, and you're like, what, thank God this has come about? Is it from an audience perspective? Is it from what is it called, from a government perspective, like these guys weren't paying attention to us, but now they are? Or is it even from the amount of people that are just interested in theater as a whole?
Wow, that's a hard question to answer, because I think it's sort of twofold. There was a time, and I talk about Phoenix a lot only because I think it molded a lot of us who were in that gap year after high school, where we're like, where do we go? What do we do? Do I really want to pursue such and such? And what Phoenix used to do was really nurture talent from the get-go, whether it was running the ticket space, which was called the box office, and selling tickets, whether it's stage management, and of course being on stage to perform, whether it's beer, whether it's a Kenyan original, a musical. People who were there at the time really did nurture the talent. When it shut down, we did lose something. However, there are still a lot of
gains.
Yeah, there are a lot of gains as well. It's not only Nairobi. From the Kenya Kenya Theatre Awards. It just opened up my eyes, and then I realized, wait, yes, in my little cocoon there was Phoenix, but then there's a lot of other people who are actually making sure that theater and stage is still alive. And anyone who is a stage actor, I always feel like it's always wonderful to transition then to screen, because then you sort of have to make it a little bit smaller to fit into the screen, and you're more disciplined. When you're on stage, there's no take 25.
It's just
7.
one take and that's it.
Yeah, and if you blunder, you pray to God that the person you're talking to can realize in your eyes, like, okay, I think I
he spoiled it at this point. We're gonna get